My people are just to come back with another Ogbonga update and make una share this update, my people, because e don still burst again. I believe say most of una don hear say Vladimir Putin and Lukashenko, wey be Belarusian president, say they get conference, and most of us go don dey imagine wetin these two people discuss. Everybody just dey eager to know wetin they discuss. But normally the update wey the report they give on be say Vladimir Putin, he don make a speech, and this is speech where he make based on say he paro where caution follow the West where the speech don dey trend for everywhere like this, all the whole media. Make una all this update and make una share this update, my people.
Now, a conference of the Russian and Belarusian leaders on bilateral development has now concluded in the Black Sea port city of Sochi. With global politics on the table, Vladimir Putin stressed the United States is indifferent to following the norms that it sets for others.
There is one country that believes it is exceptional. This is the USA. Even what she considers a crime, she allows herself to do. It is the United States that uses cluster munitions, in this case simply through the Ukrainian army. They consider this a crime, but they allow themselves to do it. This is precisely the main problem of today's international relations, and therefore the overwhelming majority of participants in international communication are fighting with us to create a multipolar world. This situation suits almost no one, because even those countries that are allies of the United States, they also don't like this situation.
Well, let's speak to RT correspondent Marina Kostareva on that. Marina, always tends to be some newsworthy lines when the two nations' leaders meet. What's come out of the latest high-level face-to-face?
Yes, Yunan, especially when it's these two. Well, this is actually the 7th meeting between the two presidents so far this year. And of course, they couldn't help but bypass the West's double standards as they see it. Because as we know, the Biden administration is close to approving some more supplies of cluster munitions to Ukraine. So this is something that they couldn't help but discuss again, how the West sees itself, of course, as the leader of this planet. And Washington even once again said recently, as we know, that it takes two to tango when it comes to a resolution in Ukraine. Well, the leaders commented on that, and Vladimir Putin said that actually the United States doesn't know how to tango and is always resorting to convincing or bullying other nations, either by force or with its sanctions or by military means, as we know. And for its part, Russia said that it's ready to discuss and negotiate with Ukraine, but it's the other side that is not ready. And Vladimir Putin urged the Ukrainian leader not to dance to someone else's tune. So that was that. When it comes to Ukraine, they also discussed the recent visit by the North Korean leader to Russia's Far East, a visit that the West, of course, saw as a provocation. We'll touch more on that. But Alexander Lukashenko said that he envisions a future where the three countries, North Korea, Belarus, and Russia, could have a trilateral cooperation. Vladimir Putin said that he seeks to deepen relations with Pyongyang, of course, not violating any international restrictions. And then both leaders addressed the recent rumors that we saw by mainstream media in the West that supposedly Russia is actually asking or even begging sometimes for Korean fighters from North Korea. And this is what both of them had to say regarding that.
First, the West should count how many of its own mercenaries have been deployed in Ukraine. People from a variety of races are fighting on the Ukrainian side. So what right do they have to accuse Russia based on rumors of inviting foreigners to fight? These are some dangerous statements coming from the West, amid their dreams of stationing military contingents in Ukraine. Poland, for one, has already placed itself near the border and is ready to enter Ukraine. Before pointing the finger at others, they should look at themselves.
In the West, there is a narrative Russia was nearly begging North Korea to send its volunteers to fight in special military operation. What can you say about this?
I want to say that this is complete nonsense. I said a couple days ago that our soldiers signed contracts with the armed forces of the Russian Federation, 270,000, but this data is already outdated. This morning they reported 300,000 contracts were signed by people who are ready to sacrifice their lives in the interests of their motherland, defending the interests of Russia.
Alexander Lukashenko then also added that the West basically sleeps and dreams of having its regular military units in Ukraine and is basically acting like the king of the jungle with total disregard for any other countries. Then, of course, they continued discussing each other's economies. They said that everything's stable and reliable in Russia and in Belarus, and that both countries will return to the growth that they had before the sanctions, and that the Russian army is fully equipped, that the military operation is going as planned, and that they will not allow the West to continue forcing everyone to play by its own rules. And they're seeking to continue expanding this multipolar world and with other partnerships.
Taking us through the Putin-Lukashenko meeting this Friday, RT's Marina Kostareva. Thanks, Marina.